Well, look who wandered out to the shop to get some work done. All by himself out here. That's awesome. Got an alternator to change on the Vette. All right, much to my surprise, Mikey's out here by himself working on the Corvette. Probably because he wants me to give it to him, of course, but you know. I took the old alternator off. This has a few electrical gremlins, and the biggest one is the alternator. The two-stage voltage regulator, it only works on high and off. There's no low setting, so it's constantly flickering all the lights while the engine's running. Very annoying. All the gauges are moving and stuff. Anyways, in the process of getting the old one off, of course, that aluminum lower arm that these Vettes use, snapped it off. Just tapped it and it broke. We had to try to find one of these, and they ain't exactly easy, and they're pricey. So we got us an aftermarket one. A lot cheaper than the factory one, because they, as far as I know, they only made those ones like that for a few years, and the C3s were kind of, depending on what motor you have, I guess it's different. But anyway, this one here is about the same thing. It was about a third of the price of the original Vette part, so we're going to try putting this one on and see if we can get it to work. All right, so there's that bracket going on. Goes on to the driver's side cylinder head. Kind of like the old school way of mounting the Chevy alternators. What's going on, Mike? You get it yet?
I think it's on.
What?
I'm pretty sure it's on.
Did you get both?
Imagine if I dropped that like I dropped the nut earlier.
Did you find the nut yet?
Oh no, but it's probably under the Corvette on the ground.
Oh, that'll be lovely to find. First off, it's a dirt floor, gravel floor out here, and this thing's about 1.5 inches off the ground, so that ought to make for a fun adventure.
Yeah, my bad, okay?
You screwed up. Go faster. So there's that aftermarket bracket. It's the same dimensions as the factory one, so it puts the alternator in the same spot. The problem is the top tensioner don't quite fit, because the other one is much thicker right in that area here. So we're putting in a spacer to try to get it to work. So that one's going to be the next project, I'm thinking. After we get the Vette up and running and the rat rod done, you know, wheel that thing in and have a go at it. Just, you know, I drained the coolant out of it, put it in here for the winter, and haven't touched it since. It needs a set of brake drums and brakes and all that good stuff, but it also needs a clutch, because the throwout bearing on it is just screaming. You touch that pedal and the throwout starts to squeak. So we're going to do a clutch for it and get it up, have a look at the brakes, probably do brake lines and the whole bit, because if it's going on the lift, I may as well do it. You get that on yet, Mike? What's the word, Bird? You get that? Is it going to work or what?
No go.
That looks like a pretty good go to me.
No go. Do I just unloosen the nut?
Put the top bolt in. Into the where the alternator is.
This?
Yeah. Put the bolt in there.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, where's that?
What do you mean, where's that? It's just that right there. Just put it in loose, because we still got to get a belt on this. We got to do all, of course, the alternator is the farthest back belt, so the air pump and power steering and air conditioning, all that needs to come off. So we got a few belts to pull off. I'm seriously thinking of getting rid of that air pump, although it does work. I mean, that turns, but we all know what those things are. They're just horsepower stealing pieces of garbage. Problem is, it's a whole system with these, right? It goes into your exhaust manifolds and everything. The line comes out, splits both ways, comes over, and injects air through that pipe down there right into the exhaust manifolds. So if you're going to replace that, it's not as big as just unbolting it, because you're going to have a massive exhaust leak somewhere. And it's all incorporated as part of the exhaust gas recirculation system, which is here. It's a nightmare to get rid of those things. It's not as simple as just cutting the belt and getting rid of it. It's integral. How'd that go? We got our bolt on. Mm-hmm. Is that alternator going to work like that? Is it going to adjust? Move it around. Let's see it. All right. The fun part about doing a simple alternator change, apart from breaking a bracket, is how many belts are on this thing. So the first belt's got to come off is that smog pump. Okay, so we got to loosen this, already done, and then there's another one on the exact opposite side to get that belt off. Then we got to go down and do the power steering. which is in the same alignment. Okay, power steering's in the same alignment, but it only does crankshaft and bottom pulley here on this one. Okay, the Corvettes are unique in the way they do a lot of this stuff. They have a lot of stuff to jam in a little area. Then the air conditioning pulley is the next one that comes off, and then we could finally get to putting the fan belt for the alternator on. I find it hard to believe that none of these belts have ever been changed, because these bolts are so tight, it almost would convince you of that. You're having to use a breaker bar just to take off bolts that are, you know, almost fall into the category of routine maintenance here. Let's see if Mikey can figure out how to get a V-belt around a fan. This ought to be good. These kids today only know serpentine belts. Come on, Mike, figure it out. How do we get a fan belt over a fan? Do I need to show you?
Well, can you let me try and figure it out?
Well, you've been staring at it for like 2 minutes.
Okay, can I?
It's not a Rubik's Cube here, bud.
Can I just put it over like this?
There you go. Put it around 1 or 2 blades of the fan at a time until you get it off.
That's stupid. That's beyond...
stupid. It's simple. You're looking for a complicated solution to a simple problem. That was the problem.
Oh yeah, it's simple, eh?
It's absolutely simple.
Just like how...
They only did this on cars for like 100 years almost. There you go. I knew you could figure it out. Well, I didn't know that you could figure it out. I was starting to get a little worried after the 2-minute mark.
See?
1 belt. Only 2 more to go. And then you get to put them all back on.
I'm done. I quit. Let me get
The air pump actually works. Most of these things seized up back in the day. I'm amazed that that's still turning.
Please say I won't have to do that again.
Oh, you're going to have to do the same thing again. No, they're into steel. That should come right out. What do we got? We got that AC moved or what?
Yep.
AC moved? Let's show the folks where the bolts are. Way down then underneath there.
Right there.
Some light.
Right.
Behind the AC line. Where is it?
It's right here. This bolt?
There it is. The one Mikey's got his finger on.
Right.
That's your pivot bolt right there.
Yes.
This is the lock nut. Okay, we got the AC loosened off. Now we're going to get the power steering belt off. Okay, so here's the power steering on a C3. Normally they're mounted up much higher on most Chevy small block applications. Obviously the Corvettes are a unique beast. All right, Mikey's fighting to get at that front bolt.
I don't... Dad, we're gonna put this on the lid.
Pushing towards me, okay?
I can't get it.
Can't get it?
Oh my God. Who designs these? Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So we're
you gotta understand, the motor is assembled and then placed in the car.
Who
It's
do they
put in the
hire? Who do they hire to do this? Oh yes.
You. That's who.
Once this engine blows up or something, and I need to take off this
The
bill,
easiest way to take a Vette motor out is to rip the body off.
I'm not doing that.
I had to rescue Mike. He couldn't get that button. Now look, I'm dirty. This is ridiculous. Oh, that little bit of dirt. Come on.
Well, I was leaned in like all the way like this.
Okay, so the power steering pump is now loose. You can get that belt off. I don't even know if the AC works in this. Yeah, I don't know why anybody would put AC on a Corvette with T-tops.
I got it.
Oh, there we go. Now that belt is not in great shape. Okay, what we're gonna do is put the alternator back on, mock it up, get a belt that's gonna work, and then we can get to putting the other belts back on. Now Mikey gets to go through the bin of fan belts until he finds the right ones. Okay, Mikey got us a belt that's gonna work. Mikey just took the alternator off and just moved it out of the way so that we can get at the power steering. But now we're gonna do the next belt, which is, which one, Mike?
Air conditioning.
There you go, wait, put it around the fan first. Are you ready? This is how you put a fan around, a belt around a fan. Not fast.
That's boom.
A little easier my way, Mike.
Maybe. Okay, I'll admit.
Yeah, you can't pry on that. It's aluminum, right? There isn't a whole lot to do. But here's the trick that people don't know. You put a bolt in this top hole right here.
Yeah, that wasn't there last.
And then you pry like this. Right there. All right. Belts are on. Look at that. We have them back on again. Now we get to put the alternator back, finally. The longest alternator change in the history of mankind. What do you think, Mike?
I think once we get this done, we put the shock absorbers on. I know the spark plugs are going to be a pain.
Oh, they're going to be nightmarish.
Oh,
There's spark plugs in there somewhere. Mikey's like, I want to drive it. Can I just do wheelies? No, the car does not do wheelies. No wheelies.
Why not?
Because it's a 305. It's a 305 with all this pollution emissions garbage on it. If it's putting out 180 horse, I'd be amazed. But we can remedy that. I got a 400 that'll fit in there with a shoehorn. Rip all that garbage off it. Put on a decent intake and carb. Got good tension there. Boing, boing. Yep. Okay, so we got our field wire on and the boot back on. Mikey, you just did the plug, did you?
Thanks.
Is it in all the way?
How about him?
Yeah, it looks like it's in. All right, last thing this needs to do is right here on the alternator, there's a bolt and it puts this bracket and these two ground wires on. Now we gotta get a battery in there because that one's deader than, well, you know what. Pump the gas like 6 times. This hasn't ran in like a year. Go ahead. Sounds pretty good. Okay, so voltage looks good. Before that, the needles were all doing this with the alternator. Now they're nice and steady. We got good voltage there. Heck, even the clock works. How often do you see that? The AC works. Oh, it clicked on. I heard it. Look at that. It even works. I highly doubt it's charged, but there's Mike in the driver's seat of a running Corvette.
It's almost like
Yeah, I only ever filled them with a jerry can like 3 years ago when I brought it home. All it's ever done is go outside and inside the shop. Oh, it's so bad. I forgot how bad radios were back then. I think you should put this outside and wash this car tomorrow. Headlights even work, all of them. Turn the headlights off. Oh, it's got Corvette-itis. Weak! Okay, well, we drove it. First time out of the shop in like years. You can hear there, I got the keys in my hand. That beeper should not be going off. And the clock is still turning. So we definitely have power staying on somewhere. So we got to short the track down. Lovely, my favorite thing to do in the world. We're going to disconnect the battery for now so we don't drain it. And we'll figure this one out tomorrow.